Hey there, this is Laura Hall, Camp Director of Camp St. Charles. I am making this video to invite returning campers to enroll for 2018. I made a separate video with more detail for new families that you might want to check out if this is your first time enrolling for camp. But I'm making kind of a shorter version for returning families who are already somewhat familiar with our system. We are starting registration now. Registration is now open for 2018. We're starting a bit earlier, and I want to make sure that all our returning families get the message that we are going to have a fall open house. So we're inviting new families to come check out camp a little bit earlier, and we had some sessions that were sold out before our March open house last year. So we want to offer that earlier open house, and I want to make sure that families that are returning have plenty of heads up to go ahead and start thinking about registration for the summer. You can pay just the $200 deposit to secure your child's place, or you can pay in full. If you pay in full by the end of January, you save $100 on each 2-week registration, and you can also receive sibling discounts on top of that for all your 2-week registrations. So I wanted to give you the heads up about that. So, also, if you're a mentor, if your camper is a first-time mentor, you can still go ahead and register and secure their spot, and then they can apply for the mentor program. If for some reason you paid the deposit and your camper was not accepted to the mentor program, you would have your deposit fully refunded. So I want you to still be able to take advantage of that early registration discount, even if your child is a first-year mentor. Second-year mentors don't have any application to complete this time around. They can just go ahead and enroll. Okay, so we're going to begin on the camp website by double-clicking on Register Now, and that's going to redirect you to Bunk 1. I was already logged in, so let's look at what it looks like if you're not. If you're not logged in, you're going to see a returning users login over here, and then a new camper start over there. You're a returning family, I hope, so please use the username and password that you used when you enrolled your child last year. This is important because if you use a different email, if you create a new account and re-enter all this information, then it won't be linked to your child's past registration. It's just really helpful on our end if we can avoid having duplicate versions of the same camper in the system. Partly when a parent calls or says, hey, can you add this request to my record? It can be challenging to make sure we're adding it to the correct record. So that's another reason that it's helpful to us if you use the same account. So once you're logged in, you are going to see over here on the right where it says My Campers. That will show your children that have been campers in the past. I have Owen Hall, Melanie Hall, my actual children, and then I have enrolled my dog so that I can kind of use a fake account to show you a little bit about how to do this without showing their personal information. So Hutch is my other camper here. So when you're ready to register, you're going to go up here to Applications on this top bar on the top. This is where you viewed photos and did bunk notes and things. Click on Applications. And when you click on Applications, you are going to see down at the bottom all the past registrations. So if you have multiple children that have attended for multiple years, there may be a lot of information back there. But here we're going to select a form. The only one available is Register for Camp 2018, and then select who you're going to enroll. For our purposes here, I'm going to register Hutch. Doesn't really matter which camper you start with. And I'm going to skim through a lot of this for you and get to the sessions. So when we select a session for camp, there's a drop down with the age group for your camper. Please take a moment to select the appropriate age group. If your child has a fall birthday and they're almost to the next age group, they might want to age up, and that's totally fine. That's up to you. But please take a moment to look at that and make sure you're thinking about the age your child will be next summer. And like I said, if they have a fall birthday or they're going to be really close to the cutoff and you think it's appropriate for them to move up, a little bit in age group, that would be fine. For example, if you have a 9-year-old that's attended as a middie multiple times and, their birthday is in September, you might want to go ahead and enroll them as a minor. But keep in mind their friends that you're trying to attend at the same time. You might want to coordinate about the age group. Okay, tiered pricing. Under tier here you will see first registration, second registration, third registration. The first child that you enroll for a 2-week session is going to pay the full price. This is the early bird price, $13.45. If you have already enrolled a child and you're coming in to enroll your second child, you're going to select second registration and the price goes down to $12.45. Third registration and any campers beyond that are third registration rate will all pay $11.45. If you miss this, Sherry checks carefully and will make sure that you get all the appropriate discounts. Hutch, for our purposes here, is a first registration, and we're going to say he's a minor. Okay, scrolling down to some things that have changed. Cabin mate requests. We've added a little bit more information here because lots of folks have asked about cabin mate requests. Let me move my picture over a little bit so you can see the text here. We are happy to honor cabin requests as long as they are mutual requests. So both parties have made the request. Siblings of the same gender are generally going to be put in the same cabin, so you don't have to make a request about that. If you would like your children of the same gender to be in separate cabins, please do note that. And we're asking you to limit your request to 3 names. Sometimes we were receiving lists that were very long, and it was very challenging for us to accommodate those. So we're going to ask you to keep that to 3 requests. You might not have all this information now, but we are going to lock our cabin requests as of June 1st. So that means we'd really like that information early because we know you want your cabin assignment early. So if we ask for the request by June 1st, then we can start working on cabin assignments. The cabin number request. When Sherry is assigning cabins to the campers, she cannot see the past cabins that your child has been in. So please do let us know what cabin, if your child would like to return to the same cabin. Sometimes you may not remember what cabin number it was, but you might remember the color because we do ask campers to bring t-shirts of that color. Cabin 1 is purple, 2 is yellow, 3 is blue, 4 is green, 5 is orange, and 6 is red. So if you don't remember the cabin number, if you tell us the cabin color, we can figure it out from there. If you have a cabin request, if you don't, you can leave it blank. Counselor request, again, we don't get a whole lot of those, but if you have one, you can note it. Teammate requests. So cabins and teams are completely separate grouping. They may have some of the same children in those groups, but a team request, that is the campers that your child is going to be assigned to their scheduled activities with. So portions of the day we assign them and they'll be with their team. Portions of the day they get to choose and they can spend time with other campers if they'd like. My suggestion is that if your child is attending camp with their super best friend, that maybe you request to be in the same cabin but not the same team, or vice versa, just so that kids also have an opportunity to make new connections, which is part of the camp experience for us. The next block is for medical concerns, food allergies, special needs, behavioral concerns, any other information that would be important for our staff to have to help your camper have a successful experience. We also have a separate food allergies survey that gives us more details. You know, some campers, let's say, have an egg allergy, but they might be fine to eat foods that contain eggs, but couldn't eat eggs on their own. So those are important distinctions. So there is a separate document. It's on our frequently asked questions on the website that gives us a little more details about the food allergies. And also on check-in day, we encourage you to talk to our head cook about those details. All right, those are the big changes. So if you have more questions about the registration, I'm going to refer you to the longer video that I posted earlier today that is really directed to new families, but if it's your first time using online registration, that would probably be really helpful for you. As always, you are welcome to call me, Laura Hall, Camp Director, if you have any questions, or if specifically you have a question about payment or registration and that part of the process, Sherry Belisle, our registrar, is the best person to speak to. I'm going to add that contact information to the notes at the end of this video. So I hope that's helpful to you. We are really excited to see you in 2018 and hope your school year is off to a great start. Thank you.